Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Horror Master. Now, you read the video title, and I do have some bad news to share about Versus Battles. Now, for the past couple of months, you guys may have noticed there hasn't been any episodes. And sure, while Versus Battle episode waits are normally long, they're actually one of the easier videos to make, unlike the Horror Master movies and TV shows. That's the reason why those take a while to come out. However, for Versus Battles, that was not the case. I'm gonna go over the whole story I had with Versus Battles. But before I do, I want to give out the bad news. The bad news is there aren't gonna be any more Versus Battles episodes. Unlike the first season where I gave a good conclusion, the second season I'm gonna explain it once I explain the story into why I decided to cancel Versus Battles. So, without further ado, I am going to jump into Versus Battles and my history with it. So, I began making Versus Battles back in February 2023, and that means Versus Battles is about to hit its 30th anniversary, which kind of made me starting to think to continue the series, but I just decided not to. Now, the first episode was pretty dog shit. Well, I mean, it's one of my older videos, so it's like a video from 2023, which some of my videos back from 2023 were a little questionable, to say the least. But that's kind of how my old videos were, but this one, I don't know, it was pretty dog shit, that's all I'm gonna say. And even when it came out, I didn't really like the episode that much, so I decided to, so for a couple of months, I basically just completely forgot about it, since I thought the first episode turned out dog shit, and I literally just, forgot about it for like half of the year. And then in September, when I started school, when I saw the Furby episode, Pikachu vs. Groot, which Furby takes it, but the only thing Furby talks about that episode is the fact that flopped, which is kind of a shame, because, it was a good episode, even if it was just Pikachu and Groot, but it was actually a good episode, and and that episode was the main reason why I wanted to return back to Versus Battle. So on September 2023, I made the second episode of Versus Battle, and I thought it turned out really good. A much better episode than the first episode, we'll just say that. And I decided to keep the season going. I had a plan to make a schedule very similar to Cartoon Beatbox Battles, where I would have 10 episodes instead of 8, and then I would move on to the next rounds, and then that's where the season would conclude on its, I believe it was going to be its either 19th or 20th episode, I can't remember, but, yeah, I followed that structure, and I kept going in the season, and I was very happy with how the episodes were turning out. I was finding creativity in each fight. However, though, by the time I was making episode by the time I started to get later into the season, I believe it was around between episode 11 and episode 12, I started to experience burnout. And that's why the later episodes feel more different compared to the older episodes. The older episodes, they're paced way faster. But in the newer episodes of Versus Battle Season 1, it was a lot more talking, a lot more comedy than fighting. And that's why the later episodes felt different. I was getting very burnt out with the same formula of just the characters fighting, and I kind of wanted to mix it up a little. And sure, some of them came out great, and then others just came out as very lackluster and boring. And then that's also when I came to the end of Versus Battle Season 1, when I found out that that I should have made 8 or 12 episodes instead of just 10, because with 10 episodes, since there were 10 winners, that meant when I got to the final rounds, I had 5 contestants left. Meaning that if I were to make a final battle, I would have had to do 3 instead of 2. It just felt completely wrong. So once we got to the final rounds, I just decided to end the season short with I believe it was episode 17, and something like that, and where I would have the 4 remaining contestants fight each other, and I thought it was a great finale. And honestly, I should have ended it there. However, though, I was thinking about doing a season 2. For some reason. I think it was because I liked the later episodes coming out, but like at the same time, as you can clearly tell, it didn't really feel like a first battle series anymore. Sure, it still had fighting, but I felt like I was adding to a lot of comedy. I mean, there was literally one episode where Glitch did a whole court meeting, and I recorded audio from the Chucky Season 3 teaser trailer.
Sorry. What kind of a shitty question is that? I'm coming for you.
Yep, I was making announcements in my own Versus Battles episodes. That's when I announced when the Halloween Season 5 was just concluding with its 5th season. Yeah, as you can tell, these episodes just got more and more wild, and Glitch basically just took all of them over with its nonsense talk. Because Glitch was basically the Shax on my channel back when he would show his face every single fucking second. But anyways, so yeah, as you could tell, I was constantly changing up the format. And sure, while these episodes were very fun to make, I mean, as you can tell, I was having a great time making them. They were literally not feeling like the same episodes anymore. Versus Battles wasn't feeling the same by basically probably its 10th episode. And yeah, sure, these are super fun to make, don't get me wrong. Some of them are kind of funny. Whoa, really funny. Like, what the hell was I thinking with this episode of Versus Battles?
Oh my god. Welcome to the Kill Cow, where we telling the big...
But see what I mean? I mean, it's kind of inconsistent. You're coming here to watch 2 characters fight, not to watch Horrormaster do a kill count parody. That's even more for an April Fool's Day video, which, by the way, this year I'm going to be making 2 first April Fool's videos. Oh my god, wait, I am so wrong. I am not gonna be making an April Fool's video. But like, yeah, even though these episodes were fun, I could have just named them literally anything else, and they would have been nothing different. Like, at this point, they weren't feeling like Versus Battles episodes anymore, and you know, back then I thought, you know, I was gonna keep Versus, like, I don't know, like, I just wanted to change the formula up, so I started to have more fun with them. And while these episodes, in my opinion, are pretty fun to watch, it doesn't really feel like the format I was going for. So by the time Season 1 ended, for some reason I wanted to make more Versus Battles for some reason. Well, I was like more in the middle. One side of me wanted to make another Versus Battle season, and the other side wanted to bring the series to a conclusion. I made a community post, and the reputation was a little mixed, to say the least, but I decided to do it anyways, a Season 2, which was a completely dumb mistake in my opinion. When I got to Season 2, I was feeling incredibly burned out. Outside of episode 3, which I was just excited to make a Versus Battles episode that day, every other day I was just kind of procrastinating. Typically, I would make it a Versus Battle video on a day when I felt incredibly lazy and felt like absolutely doing nothing. But I had to make a video because I was either not uploading enough, or it was like a special holiday or something, and I can't go a holiday without posting a video. So So yeah, I just was getting very burned out on making versus battles content. As you can, if you watch the season 2 episodes, they just most of them are just a lot of talking or me, and you can all obviously clearly see it. I was literally burned out. I mean, look at this. As you guys can see, if you go farther down into the season, the episodes just get consistently shorter and shorter because I wanted to get them done and over with as fast as I could. Like, if you watch this episode, Bowser versus Karen, Bowser versus Yoshi, as you can see, they literally don't start fighting until around 7 minutes in the video, which is, already, halfway through the video, meaning the first 7 minutes and, 20 or 30 seconds, it's literally just them talking. And sure, why I still do long scenes in my videos, I usually like to do them for character development or funny gags, or just something that adds purpose to the story, because I'm trying to make my channel as high quality as possible. In fact, I actually know a lot of what's going to happen in the future of the Horror Master channel story. I even know what's going to happen in the last Horror Master video, which is going to come out in 6 years or something. But yeah, I'll be doing a proper finale in 6 years. So yeah, or I don't know. It's gonna be between 4 or 6 years. I don't know. I don't know. It's so far I can't even decide. But it's not gonna end for a while. That's all I will say. But yeah, if I'm gonna do long talking scenes, I like to do ones that add me into character development, not just characters. No one wants to watch that, and the only time I like to do scenes of talking is outside character development is when I'm blabbing about stuff like Trigger Suit videos or even exploring videos even exploring videos to cut content of my channel or other stuff or I'm planning on talking about other YouTubers and stuff, I have so many different types of content ideas I want to do, and versus battles just ain't really on my list. By the time I was done with episode 3, and I'll just say, after episode 3 came out, I was incredibly burned out on versus battles, and I wanted to make, no more episodes, but I knew I had to get season 2 done, and I just couldn't leave it off in the middle of the season. And so I continued to make the episodes, especially on days when I felt incredibly lazy. And the days I want to do a video, which I usually do, but sometimes I just like to rest because sometimes, some of these school weeks get very wild for me because school is just wild. But I usually like doing videos. Sometimes I might take a day off there and there, but overall, I usually like to make videos. Now, since I got everything hooked up in my room, I want to make as much content as possible because I went nearly a month without uploading any videos, and I do not want that to happen again. So, yeah, I was meant to get here much sooner I was meant to get here before Thanksgiving, but that did not wound up happening because some things happened, and we had to get them all figured out. But now, since I'm here, I want to post as much videos as I possibly can, which is kind of why I'm making today's video, because that's another reason, because I kind of felt like I needed to give you guys a little update, and because I didn't want to go too long without uploading, but mostly because I wanted to give you guys an update on Versus Battles, so you guys ain't just hanging and wondering, when is the next Versus Battles episode coming out? Well, it's gonna end at episode 10, because I know it's not a finale, but I just don't feel like making Versus Battles episodes anymore. They don't feel special. They just feel lazy. Versus Battles has kind of became a shell of its former self. And on the days when I do want to make videos, I want to make another video that is not Versus Battles. Because Versus Battles, when you compare it to my other series, they're kind of lame. Would you rather watch a Versus Battles episode, or would you rather watch an episode of Squid Master? You probably would rather watch an episode of Squid Master, unless if you got very short attention span and you want to watch a 13-minute episode instead of an hour-long episode, which it's understandable. I mean, an hour is a very long time for plushies, but yeah, But yeah, I gotten incredibly burned out on versus battles, and I'm still very burned out on versus battles, and that's the main reason why I'm not gonna be making any more versus battles. I just feel like if I made any more episodes, all of them would just turn out to be incredibly lazy, and I've kind of ran out of ideas of how I could make the fights creative. And I even ran out of ideas of how I could just change up the format. Like, sure, I could go for the same thing I did in Wait Season 1 when I was just doing a bunch of parodies, but, like, it's kind of, like, at that point, just might as well be a different video. And that is why I'm not gonna, and that's why there aren't gonna be any more Versus Battles episodes, and sure, while they could come back someday if I feel like making episodes again, that isn't most likely gonna happen because I have other shows to work on. The Dead Aftermath, it's coming out in 19 days. I have to wrap up the Horror Master Road series, which I definitely promise I will wrap that series up in the best way I possibly could. It's been my favorite Horror Master show, even more than Squid Master and Halloween Nightmare, even if Halloween Nightmare is like my close second, But that series is going to get a very fantastic finale, and I'll just give you guys a hint. The finale's at least an hour and 10 minutes long, so, whew! But yeah, I just kind of feel like working on other projects. There's some other Trigger Suit videos I want to do. Back me Trigger Suit video. We're so close to 30 views. When it has 30 views, I'll do boss, baby. Yeah, I'd rather do content like that than do versus battles. It's just, versus battles is kind of lame compared to my other content. And I'm burnt out on versus battles, which is why I do not want to make versus battles anymore. And I hope you generally understand. I'm sorry if you guys are disappointed in this news. I also know that, like, 2 of my first battle episodes in Season 2 got good amount of views, too. So, I deeply apologize if you guys are disappointed at this news, but I have to worry about the content I want to make, and not just for other viewers. And yes, I do take requests and all, but if I don't feel like making any content, if I don't feel like making that type of content, then I'm just not gonna, and it's why I'm no longer gonna make that's why I'm not gonna wrap up Season 2 versus battles, and I'm definitely not going to be making a Season 3. I wouldn't even know who to put up, what matches I would do in Season 3. I mean, I could do a bunch of random characters and stuff, but, I could do, I don't know, maybe, Pomni versus Art the Clown. That'd kind of be a good matchup. But yeah, I just don't really want to make any more Versus Battles content. I hope you guys genuinely understand. Oh yeah, and don't worry, this doesn't mean Try Not to Laugh is canceled either. Try Not to Laugh is still going to be coming out with part, I think, what was the last part of Try Not to Laugh? What's the part? I think it was part 36. So part 37 will be coming out will be coming soon. I don't know when it's coming. I hope soon, though. But Try Not to Laugh is not canceled. I know it's been a while since I uploaded one of those too, but I've been working on it. It's just kind of hard for me to work on a bunch of projects because I got the Horror Master movie part 11 coming soon. Same with Dead Aftermath, wrapping up the Horror Master world with Season 3 and 4, and I got later projects to work on like the Horror Master movie part 12 and Squid Master Returns and stuff. I'm even already planning a brand new Horror Master show for 2027. Now I'm not gonna give you a single clue about it, but it will be coming out early 2027. So that will be a treat for you guys there. But overall, Versus Battles is officially canceled, and I hope that you guys understand and stuff. And that's about it. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all understand, and I'll see you on the next video coming I think it's coming Friday, yes, because on Thursday I have something to do. So Friday I will be making a video. It's gonna be Friday 13 Part 3 Trigger Suit. So get ready for that video to come very soon. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. We're very close. We're almost halfway to 5K. Maybe we can hit. Maybe we can hit it by the end of the year. Come on, everybody. I know you're all waiting to hit that red button. Subscribe, and we can hit 5K by the end of the year. Because that means we're halfway to 10K. Whew. And we're getting close to 1 million views in total, which is incredible. You guys, I could have not asked for a better audience. You guys are truly awesome. Thanks for all the nice comments, because I mostly get nice comments, and if you guys type me mean comments, I'm not really gonna care, you know? I mean, if they're like way too mean, and I might delete them and stuff, but you know, you guys can give your honest opinions about the videos and even give me some recommendations on how I could improve my videos. Like the acting or the pacing, whatever. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. I'll see you all next time. So, yeah, okay, but that speech was funny. It was meant to be serious, chat. Huh? What's going on? I'm taking over the channel. No, you're not. Cool. Versus Battle sucked anyways. It didn't suck, it's just, I don't know. I'll see you all later. Okay. Bye. What the heck was that? Bye. I don't know. By the way, do you all like the Horror Master's new channel banner? It's better than that old one. Like, why was Yoshi holding a knife? Because back then I was evil for some reason. Well, you weren't evil, you're just nuts. Yeah, I guess you could say that. What? Yeah, that's cool.